Hello, it's Saturday. I'm drinking my morning coffee and looking through some news from last week, mainly connected to GitHub AI agent, which has been released a couple days ago. And as always, with anything AI related, especially if it's backed by a big company like Microsoft, there are some huge claims about its capabilities. And this cycle continues like every couple weeks, at least every couple weeks, someone releases something, and it's always the end of programming jobs, and so on. So with GitHub AI agent, it's nothing really different. They are claiming that it can code for you, and that it can fix bugs, it can create tests, and so on, and do it all on its own without any supervision from human. So I decided to put those claims to test, and especially because it's not really a new model. The underlying models haven't been updated. They are still either GPT or Gemini or Claude or some other models, which all of them have similar limitations when it comes to developing software. It's just some kind of wrapper, and that should do stuff on its own and feed data from your repository to those models. So having that things in mind, I'm not doubting that it is useful in certain cases. What I'm doubting is that it's as good as they claim it is. So that's why I decided to test it on one of my repositories, which is really small, but it's already an existing repository. So not like in all of the demos, creating something completely from scratch, which is extremely small. And then they claim that this can scale to any kind of software, which is complete rubbish. Yeah, so I have something that's already there, it's already exists, has certain features, it serves some purpose. It's mainly a bash script, which I use to clean old USB sticks or some hard drives, which are then, for example, from an older laptop that I plan to sell. And the thing is that it does think, and it's if I would like to introduce a new feature, I would like to keep all the functionalities that were already there intact. Yes, so that's the issue with all those models, that whenever you ask them to do something, they may do it, but maybe not perfect, and maybe also they will remove something that was already working. So in total, this whole project has about 200 lines of code, so nothing fancy, nothing comparable to any real life, quote unquote, projects which are used for commercial purposes. So I think that if it does a good job here, it should definitely be tested on a bigger one. But if it fails even on such a simple thing, then probably some of the claims are at least a bit exaggerated. So I created an issue on my GitHub repo to create tests and to ask the AI agent to um, do this task for us. Yes, so let's go start Copilot agent mode and see how it does. Takes time. Has to set up the project itself, and each purpose to create texts. So it's already loaded something. And now it loaded the issue. Okay. I will first check what language and framework would be most appropriate on. Okay, already interesting. Here's what I will do: set up test directory. That's correct. Add a sample test file using bats to test cleaner. Okay, and install bots and run the tests. Yes. So, please run the tests. Let's see if they work. Mm-hmm. It's chosen a framework for us. And of course, it's not installed in that environment. So now it proposes to install the thing that it has chosen, um, the test execution. It's installing. Let's see how it goes. And here is the test itself. So setup is copying the script to some tests directory, which is probably useless, whatever. And then there is one test. It's just running the script with -h. Okay. So it has already made some mistakes here. And now it corrected it, supposedly. So let's see. And it's again failure. So it's not testing anything in particular. It's just testing if we can run it at all with -h flag. And if there will be like certain messages, certain strings in the output, like usage with the first capital letter or first lowercase letters. So that we would need to mention that the tests are not really that good, but let's first try to even succeed with executing. Let's see if it can manage to do this. Please have at least one test that you can execute, and we'll see with test. By the way, let's open some light. Yeah. So till now, I see only failures. Hasn't managed to do anything, and requires a lot of input from my side to even proceed. Continue to iterate. Yes, continue to iterate. I would like to see at least one working test. Oh, okay. Now the test for the help flag now passes, confirming that the test setup and script are working correctly. You now have a working test infrastructure using bats, and your student supports based with help push. Okay, good. That's actually more than I was expecting, so I'm positively surprised. But we need to run the tests on every commit. Please prepare GitHub workflow. Oh, let's see how it goes. And after that, we have to ask it to open a pull request. Okay. Can you test if it works as expected? Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I kind of.
Let's continue. Okay, but it's still run it from just directly from the test, but I wanted to test the workflow, right? What about the GitHub workflow? You executed as direct, but we want to check the workflow itself. Let's see. Yeah, no, test. I'm correct. The previous test was run locally, not through the GitHub Action workflow. You need to push your changes. Okay. So yes, we want to push our changes. So please create a new branch and add all the changes with link commit message there. And if you can, open PR upload. So let's see how it goes. And let's continue. Now we have committed some changes and created a new branch, CI bats workflow. Let's now push. Let's see if we got a PR here. Yeah, it looks like it's here. We can create a pull request and check the changes again. So it did modify the cleaner itself, which I didn't see before. So that might be that actually might be strange because that's not what I wanted it to do. We just wanted the tests for the existing workflow, so have to check if this is actually blocking the functionality that already existed or it's somehow MB integrated. That's it. But for that, I need to check what's going on. It's edited at the very beginning of the script. So maybe it's just added this part and tested the part that it has written itself. That would be funny. And here is some tests. And here is the workflow, which looks more or less correct. So it installs the dependencies and then runs the test using bats. But before I can merge it, I would have to take a deeper look into it. Yeah, so it definitely might be useful if it's easier to use than just copy pasting from some chat interface. It has to be tested in practice, but for now it looks like a useful thing, but definitely not something that can live on its own since needs a lot of supervision, and also all the changes that it proposed have to be double checked if it really does what it claims.